Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crown and today we are going to have some more stories that I hope that you will enjoy. But before we start, it will be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now, without further ado, let's go! First story. You get what you deserve. My girlfriend is an assistant manager at a nationwide pizza chain named after a beloved tile-based name. She was hired by the regional manager and placed at this particular store. The store manager meets her on the first day and there is constant tension. He routinely undermines her authority to other employees. He mocked another deaf employee by mimicking her speech pattern, leading to said employee quitting. He says he cannot understand Latino customers that try to order on the phone, so that he can hang up, and is just in general an insensitive jerk. The final straw came when late one night last week, a black gentleman and an Asian gentleman came in to order. The Asian gentleman is visibly intoxicated, so the black gentleman sits him down in a chair and places their order. Because of COVID-19 precautions, customers aren't technically supposed to sit inside right now, but they are not causing any problems. They are the only customers in the store, and my girlfriend is by herself. She gets to make their order when the jerk manager comes back from a delivery. They have trouble keeping drivers. Shocker. And he immediately tells them they cannot sit in the store. As the black gentleman questions why, the jerk escalates and gets louder. This devolves rather quickly to the jerk manager yelling at them to get out of my store, at which time the black gentleman says he will. When he gets a refund is issued on his card, but he wants a receipt as proof. The manager refuses and tells him they are trespassing. He follows them out to the parking lot still yelling and then calls the police to report them for alleged trespassing. As he comes back in, he mumbles the N-word in front of my also black girlfriend. She writes a 2-page memo to the human resources outlining his offenses and sends it to the regional manager. The next day she asks the jerk manager to bring her some dough. He's across the kitchen, more than 10 feet away, and her back is to him. The dough whizzes by her ear and slams onto the table next to her. He threw food across the kitchen at her. The regional manager walks in to get product for another store. She asks to speak with him and the jerk manager's face turns ashen. It turns out that the regional manager never got the email, so my girlfriend fills him in and resends the email. She went home for the day and was told that the jerk manager will be out for some family stuff, which we assumed was code for suspension. The very next day, my girlfriend is working with a jerk manager's young protege. Follows right along with whatever the elder jerk says, laughing at all his jokes and so on. The young jerk has a habit of falsifying the delivery times. He'll tell the customer it'll be 45 minutes, then wait 20 to actually enter the order so that they get 25 minutes delivery time and the store's number look good. Mind you, this is only rewarded with the manager getting a bonus, so not sure why would he risk his job for this jerk. But I digress. My girlfriend had told the training manager about this practice just the day before. So last night my girlfriend went out to move her car to the front of the building so that it will be under the street light out front once it's dark, as she will be closing and won't leave until 2 a.m. After only 6 minutes, we were on the phone and had the exact call time. Baby jerk leaves the store unattended to ask her for her employee number so that he can clock her out for her break. Mind you, she's a manager on duty, he's just a guy that answers the phone. She tells him she's on her way back in now and to go cover the store. Around 11 p.m., Baby jerk asks my girlfriend to enter a falsified order. She says no, that's against store policy. Well, baby jerk didn't like that one bit. He storms off in a huff and sits down in the back and eats what was left of his lunch. After being by herself during a rush for more than 20 minutes, my girlfriend finds him and ever so sweetly asks if he's clocked out for his break. Well, Baby Jerk didn't like his own medicine one bit. He gets pissy and says he's got to go. Family emergency. And he clocks out. Now during this time, another plaque of ours that is also a black woman has entered the store. She's actually been recommended as an employee to the regional manager who was supposed to go for orientation today. Although, as you'll see shortly, that did not come to fruition. I only mention this to say that she has a regional manager's phone number. That's a surprise tool that will help us later. Baby Jerk is now clocked out for a supposed emergency but takes the time to tell the black woman that she's not allowed to stand there. She was standing at the plexiglass partition on the customer side chatting with my girlfriend as she continued to work through orders by herself. My girlfriend tells him that she's fine and she can be there. Leave her alone. Baby Jerk takes after his mentor, and he escalates a non-problem into a full-blown altercation. The black woman asks for his name, saying that she's going to report him to the regional manager, and uses the regional manager's first name to imply that she knows him. He refuses, and my girlfriend gives his first name. Baby Jerk then loses it, saying he's reporting my girlfriend to the human resources for giving out his first and last name. My girlfriend laughs at him, says she didn't, we can run the tapes back if you want. What he fails to realize is that he's not even important enough for my girlfriend to have even learned his last name. She couldn't have told her if she wanted to. Baby Jerk isn't having it, and says he's going to call the police on the black woman for trespassing. Sound familiar? My girlfriend asks the black woman to please leave before anything unwarranted happens. As she walks out, the Baby Jerk follows her for her car, still talking crap and threatening to call the police. A 6'3", 300 pounds white man followed a 5'5", 110 pounds black woman back to her car at midnight. After getting into her car, the black woman informs him that she feels threatened and is armed. This being a 2A friendly state, she's well within her rights to do so. At this point, little Baby Jerk is scared and begins calling the police to report the scary black woman trespassing and threatening him. He takes a picture of her license plate and walks out into the parking lot. And lo and behold, who should be outside the store that he's legally forbidden from coming to but Big Daddy Jerk. Turns out, he's been parked outside for the last 30 minutes or so, directly next to my girlfriend's car. Daddy and Baby Jerk put their heads together and come up with a good story for the cops as the black woman leaves. My girlfriend had called me and asked me to come up to the store as she didn't feel safe, knowing that Daddy Jerk was suspended and lurking in the parking lot at midnight next to her car. I pull in just as our black woman friend is leaving, and I catch the tail end of the phone call to the police, as Baby Jerk tells them that her boyfriend just pulled up and describes my car. I park, leave my pistol in a glove box, and go into the store. I told my girlfriend that Baby Jerk just called the police, and I placed an order for a pizza to have a reason to hang around. My girlfriend is still alone in the building working through the orders by herself, while Baby Jerk is outside for his family emergency, plotting with Daddy Jerk. 3 officers arrive and ask to speak with my girlfriend. They wait patiently for her to finish putting the last pizza in the oven. They ask if our friend had threatened Baby Jerk. My girlfriend says no, adding that we can check the cameras if they would like. The officer said that wouldn't be necessary, and implied that they were just going to take a report and that nothing would come out of it. They are tired of being called to this same store for nonsensical people of color trespassing calls, this being the second one in 3 days, and yet another in a long line, not even asking for our friend's name, because they are not going to follow up on it and they leave. One of the delivery drivers has come back and helps my girlfriend finish a few orders, but it's time for him to go home. Baby Jerk has made his way back inside the store at this point, and my girlfriend asks the driver to call the next manager at the store down the road to calm down. The driver responds that said manager is in the parking lot. Turns out, he's out there chatting with Daddy Jerk. The driver needs to be checked out before he can leave. Baby Jerk pipes up that he can check him out. Mind you, only a manager can do that. And Baby Jerk isn't even on the clock as he had a family emergency. My girlfriend says no, I can do that, and goes outside with the driver. Baby Jerk follows right behind and looks at me, seeing a bald white man and expecting an ally, and says, "Sorry, I guess our assistant manager is going outside, huh?" Shrugging his shoulders, leaving me alone in the store. Mind you, I've been standing in the store for 30 minutes now, and no one has told me I couldn't be there. After the driver has been checked out and left, my girlfriend, the manager from the nearest store, and Baby Jerk comes back inside. Baby Jerk proceeds to lay out his plan to report my girlfriend to the human resources for something. My girlfriend calmly says that it's not true, and once again, we can watch the tapes. Baby Jerk starts cursing and flipping my girlfriend off, and the manager from the nearest store, who's afraid of confrontation, is practically begging Baby Jerk to leave. He storms out, gets in his car and pulls right up behind my girlfriend's car, locking her in, talking to Daddy Jerk, who's still lurking outside. My girlfriend asks me to go outside and make sure they are not vandalizing her car. So I lean against my car across the parking lot and glare at them silently while pleasantly smiling. They finish up their conversation and both drive slowly away. My girlfriend tells a manager from the nearest store that she doesn't feel safe as Daddy Jerk feels very comfortable lurking by her car in the dark, and the manager didn't do anything to make him leave. My girlfriend tells manager that she's leaving and not finishing her shift. The manager from the nearest store says that he will have to write up both Baby Jerk and my girlfriend for not working as a team. After we get home, the manager from the nearest store texts and asks to set up a medication between the two tomorrow. Daybreak comes and my girlfriend gets a call from the regional manager that's hired her. He wants to hear from her what happened. My girlfriend explains the whole situation, with the regional manager fluctuating between various states of incredulity. When she gets to the part about Daddy Jerk being outside in a parking lot at midnight, I could hear the regional manager say "what?" over the phone. I hadn't been able to hear him before that. Turns out, neither Baby Jerk nor the manager from the nearest store had mentioned in their statements that Daddy Jerk was on the premises, since he was already suspended. He wasn't supposed to be on the property at all. That clearly shows that they were all colluding together in this situation. The regional manager says there is no need for a mediation meeting after all, or writing her up, and he thanks my girlfriend for letting him know. A short while later, in the WhatsApp group that the managers share, a message was sent out stating that Daddy Jerk was suspended and wasn't allowed at any franchise location, even as a customer. He was given a warning that if he was seen, he would be reported to the police and the regional manager immediately. And what did the dumb jerk do? Show his face again. And he got escorted into the police car so fast he couldn't even blink. No word yet on Baby Jerk punishment, but my girlfriend was sent to a different store today and loves it. Helpful co-workers, great manager, better store in every way. I'm just glad she's having a better night than last night. Unfortunately, like most industries, the hospitality field is rife with subtle and overt racism, especially in the South, where a certain subset of customers just like to be served by people of color. Reminds them of the good old days, I suppose. Luckily, it seems that these feelings were lower in the command chain and we were able to go high enough to get someone that will actually take our concerns to heart. That being said, witnesses and evidence are your greatest tool. Please stand up for what is right. Do not just let moments like these pass by. Is not my problem. Racists feel emboldened now more than ever a need to be brought back to reality. If you've made it to the end, thank you for reading this overlong diatribe. I hope this goes to show that we can hold racists accountable for their own actions. Next story. Entitled Mother Messes Up Big Time at the Emergency Room. First off, I was just a bystander watching this unfold in front of me. As I was sitting in the waiting room at the emergency room, there was a young girl about 10 by her looks. She was also totally bald and didn't hide it. Overhearing her mom, I came to find out she has cancer. I was getting ready for her chemotherapy. At this hospital, they have service dogs, meant to calm kids down when they get scared. The dog they let her take care of was only small. I have no idea what breed, sorry. She was on the gurney, waiting her turn, happily petting the dog. This is when the entitled mother joins the story. She walks right up to the counter with her little girl who was crying. She said she fell off the swing set and got a black eye. She was told to take a seat and wait until cold. As she is walking to sit down, her daughter spots the dog and squeals she wants to pet the puppy. The young girl's mother tried to explain that the dog was a special dog and her daughter was taking care of him and he was taking care of her, and to please not to touch the dog. The entitled mother did not like this, and she started at a very high volume where everyone could hear her. "My baby wants to bed the mutt. She's going to bed the mutt." She put her hands on her hips like she's already won the fight. She tried to reach over the young girl's mother to take the dog, but when she did, she pulled the IV out of the girl's arm, landing her mother directly on her. Not sure about the dog, but it yelped loud, so I assume she did. At this hospital, they don't just have security, but there is a police officer stationed there as well. Both security and the cop grabbed the entitled mother and put her to the floor hard. She landed face first on the big rubber mats they have at the doors. In seconds, she was cuffed and hauled into the security room, the whole time screaming about all the things an angry entitled mother does. Her daughter was taken to a quiet room with a nice nurse, while other nurses worked on getting the poor young girl hooked back up to everything. The poor little dog was so scared he was useless to the girl. Luckily, they have more than one dog on site at all times. This time they brought her a German Shepherd. After I was seen and on my way out, I saw one of the security guys and asked him how things ended, since I was seeing the doctor. He laughed and said she got trespassed from the hospital and its property, resisting arrest, assault on the cop. I guess she scratched his face enough to make it bleed, interfering with a service animal while it's on duty, assault on the young girl and her mother. If there was more, I cannot remember. I just wish I was there when they took her out screaming and kicking. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.